Hey, sorry about that for being 1 minute late. I just needed to take care of some things last second. But with that said, let us begin the continuation of this stream. We'll be continuing chapter 13 with episode 3. So, welcome back everyone. And sorry for the sudden... I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. We should be live. Anyway, let's do this. Let me know if the sound is good as usual, and we will proceed. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of in a daze a bit. I was in the middle of something before the beginning of the stream. But with that said, let us resume with Battle in the Storm. This will be episode 3 of Chapter 13. Let's do this. No battle. So, where we last left off, we actually finished what seemed to be the prologue chapter, or the first 2 episodes being the prologue, with Wakantanka Mugen as well as Tangoro Mugen, and it seems we are now in exception territory, which is a bit new since it seems like the entire main body of the chapter will take place in exception territory. It's not really something we talk about as a thing since, you know, it's just like something we resolve right after. Anyway, let's do this. No one thinks they know themselves best of all. Yo, Izuno, welcome. They ask themselves, what do I want to do now? Where do I want to go? Lovestar, hey. They already know the ins and outs of the world, which leaves them with nothing left they really want to learn. I've always been living in a closed-off world. Thinking things just like that is his turn. Do you remember how you used to be? What kind of person you were back in the day? Well, you were easily excitable, stoic, popular, cold, taciturn, a lone wolf maybe, perhaps a leader. For me, even before I figured out what I dreamed of doing with my life, it seemed like everyone else had already chosen my role for me. I'm just a bit more fit than the people around me. This is no way. This is not true. Could this be? I'll just have to continue. I'm just a bit more fit than people around me, you see, and I'm fully capable of studying and playing by myself, and going for quite long stretches without socializing. I don't have to be perfect at anything, just ever so slightly more skilled at it than those around me. It's really all it takes, most of the time, to be assigned a role. It's never about whether or not you want it. So many have always remained locked in that tiny square room, thinking that's all there is to the world. Another commentary on being the king of your own tiny world. But then one day, that all comes to an end. The sentence is up, and you're released from that prison. Kicked out from the world you've known, you look back and wonder, what have I been doing all this time? Time passes, and your memories of the person you once were get swallowed up by the daily life you now live, becoming nothing but hazy, sepia-toned echoes of the past. Yeah, I've got no idea who could this be. But what if, just what if those days hadn't come to an end? What if things had continued on exactly as before, all the way till now? What would that mean for your future? What kind of a future would it herald? We've confirmed the formation of a massive supercell storms in the south of Tokyo. Residents are advised to stay indoors. The storm is predicted to cover Tokyo's east and west districts shortly, so if you are outdoors, please seek shelter immediately. We repeat, please seek shelter in a safe and closed space immediately. The storm's intensity is... Long live the revolution, comrades. As your tactician, I give the order now. Advance! Disappear into the rain. What the heck is this? This is no ordinary rain. What's happening? Shouldn't they be happy? I'm pretty sure they're experiencing their happy memories of the past since it's Walk on Tonka's thing. Well, we'll see. Something's not right. Don't let this rain touch you. Good roof over your heads, pronto. Wait, what are you lot? Oh yeah, they're forcing everyone out to the train. Our roofs have collapsed! There's no place to hide from the rain anymore! The invaders' vanguard, under the influence of this natural precipitation, go on a rampage of destruction throughout Tokyo. They specifically target buildings where people are taking refuge, destroying their roofs and exposing the people inside to the rain. Every person touched by the deluge screams in terror at first, but bit by bit, the tone of those panicked cries change into something else entirely. They become like a collective sigh of unparalleled relief as everyone's consciousness begins to melt together into a single pool. So they did describe something like these individual raindrops referring to actual memories, and then they're going inside the people and forming into one. It calls to mind the satisfied sound produced by lost children that moment they realize they finally found their way back home. None of them know how long they've been faltering. It could be anywhere from a minute to an eternity, but they all distinctly feel that they found a place to belong now. It's a warm place, and intensely nostalgic. It's unclear why it's so nostalgic, but absolutely undeniable that it is. It's a sort of place where one somehow winds up believing that everything they've ever lost can be found therein. Anyone who sees it will inevitably think to themselves, this is the place I've been trying to get back to all along. There's a strong feeling that if one were to lose themselves in this place, it wouldn't matter, as only happy endings can exist here. Shiro! Shiro! Shiro vaguely realizes that someone is calling his name, but his perception is still quite hazy. If he can just let go of his consciousness a little bit more, he knows he'll finally become one with this perfect welcoming existence. Just a little more. There's not much left to go of. Oh! Where's the Shiro? How are you mumbling about anyway? What the? Kengo? Who did you expect? The Muffin Man? Of course it's me. Now wake up, you doofus. We gotta figure out where the hell we are, and if everything's safe. Oh, right. We got caught in that downpour, and then... Ow! Kengo slaps Shiro for good measure, which seems to snap him back to reality. Now that his fences are fully reopened, he takes a good hard look at his surroundings. Of course, there's not much to look at, as the two of them are surrounded by a massive ravine on all sides that seem to go on forever. It's so dark it's practically absorbing the light. Somehow, though, simply looking at this endless ravine almost makes Shiro fall into a trance once more. He stops himself short, however, because it doesn't make any sense. Why would this, of all places, feel so nostalgic and comforting? Seriously, this place is messed up! Come on, use that big brain of yours and let's figure out how to get the heck out of... Yeah! Well, that felt normal enough. Good. It's coming back to me now. Hey, what gives? That hurt! It ain't right using the corner of your stupid creepy boxing to smack the software on my skull. Oh, please. You're so thick-skulled you probably didn't even feel a thing. Besides, that was simply payback. Anyway, we have bigger things to worry about right now. Like, where we are. We appear to be underwater, but I'm not having any trouble breathing. Feels like we don't keep our guards up though. We're going to fall into a trance and melt into this water ourselves. But we can't let this happen, especially not when we have Arison and the others to worry about. Is there nothing here that we can leverage to escape? What's wrong, Kengo? I see you over there looking at us. Don't try to hide! Come out and show yourself! Oh, perceptive. Kengo being the goat, as usual. I'm rather surprised you were able to perceive me. It's like you have the intuition of a wild animal. Quite impressive. A child! Look, just tell us whatever you know about this place. Don't think I'm gonna go easy on you just because you're a kid. So you intend to treat me as an equal then? I'm actually grateful for that. Makes me even a little happy. Well, you would appreciate you telling us what you know, however. If you know anything about this place at all, anyway. Or... wait. Are you the one who brought us here? Whoa, hadn't thought of that. No, you've got that backwards, I'm afraid. You're the ones who've come knocking, as it were. What? The state of being referred to as consciousness was connected to this territory where I just so happened to be. This is where all things you've lost wind up, which is why it feels so nostalgic to you. It's a promised land where intellect and awareness inevitably go. Someone once called it the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness. I've heard of the collective unconscious, but not the collective conscious. Well, I guess the collective conscious is referring to, you know, I guess when you're treating the crowds as people. Okay. So, who are you then? My name? I suppose it's only appropriate to give. I was once known by the name Isaac. It might be easiest to understand if I were to say I'm the guild master of the Invaders, one of the 3 true guilds. Ooh, straight to the point. And strangely cooperative. Meanwhile, at the Warmonger's portal fortress in Hikarigaoka, Company, halt! Present arms! Listen well, my elite warriors of Nerdima. This terrain that's now falling upon every part of Tokyo is not of natural cause. Rather, it has been confirmed to be an indiscriminate mental assault purveyed by arrivals from the south, the Invaders. There is a rule functioning within the rain itself that spirits away the mental awareness of whoever comes in contact with it. However, we have on our side Tida, the world representative of Nirai Kanai, and Marduk, the world representative of Babylim. As incarnations of the sun, the powers can be used from within our guild territory to drive this unnatural stormfront back. But simply defending ourselves from the onslaught will not secure victory. We must look beyond and strike at the source. Reconnaissance will be required. I always read it that way. Will be required within enemy territory. And I can think of no one better suited to front it than you, Nausea. Nausea's on the scene. Is it following my time to be relevant? There's a need. With your sacred artifact, you can repel the rain and lead your troops to espionage missions deep in hostile lands. Okie doke! You got it! Just leave it to me, baby! And with that, the Warmonger's battle plans shall commence forthwith. May you all find success on the battlefield this day. Yes, sir! But at times like this, I can't help but thinking back to when the 3 true guilds truly fell apart. It was a particularly catastrophic loop in which the enmity along each reached a point from which there was simply no turning back. Until then, we all innocently believed that this conflict had an end in sight. That there would surely be a winner who would ultimately obtain the trophy, which we'd forfeit to ensure the smooth continuity of the world. But that was nothing more than naivete. This game in Tokyo was intended to have no end from the very start. It's been mired in political stalemate since before I even arrived. Okay, so it seems the representatives were spoon-fed a lie about the trophy and victory for their own world, and it seems the the truth of the game itself is coming alight here, with the continuance being the real reason for it. For some reason, it's revolution. I don't know. And this seems different than even the original Guildmaster's intentions. 23 worlds come together, but split into 3 main teams, chosen to keep it close but guarantee there would never be a majority. It's a rigged match designed to go into overtime again and again, endlessly prolonged. To the lands, infinitely wandering this endless wasteland. How sad, how tragic. That's why it must all be brought to a close. This history of this Tokyo must end. These people have nowhere left to go, yet they continue to sin again and again, piling their transgressions up to the heavens. How long must those who dwell in this world be forced to suffer? They cannot bear to witness their pitiful plight any longer. Does this even qualify as the Almighty's love of mankind? If so, what a miserable love! That's your intent here, then. If so, my answer is a simple one. I refute it! I refute every part of it! Our guildmaster, Maria, put it best. The greatest love you can give is to allow others to live as they please and forge their own paths ahead. If there is to be an end to this world, then may each and every one of us reach it in our own due course. Should anything stand in our way, even the Almighty, we shall surely overcome it and proceed ever onward. Oh, high and mighty of you, but do you truly understand what you're claiming, Jacob? Really and truly? And are you absolutely sure? Kick his ass, Jacob, for real. Damn, not this way either. It's those same guys from the guns. Please halt. Shigen does not wish to see the people of this Tokyo get hurt. If you must persist in your defiance. Is this Koki? Yes. Then allow me, the Avatar of Destruction, to aid in your struggle. 10th Avatar! Come now, do not tarry. Take this chance and escape! I cannot abide by those who would deign to harm this Tokyo, this paradise that I love. Trenchant Dogma Breaker! Oh, can it be? Is that the Phantom Thieves unit Asterism, who fights from the shadows on behalf of those who can't defend themselves? The weak simply adore you, Shinya. Perhaps it's because they see you as one of their own. Cupid, shoot that arrow out of the sky. It's been this way since the very first loop we met, come to think of it. Chosen as a proxy for the great Zeus of Olympus and granted all the power that it entails here in Tokyo, your precious people cannot help but adore you so. That adoration comes tied to the role and rule you've inherited. But that just means you'll always have to advocate for the weak and destitute now, doesn't it? All I can see from that is a waste of potential. Is that your wish? What is your wish? Do you even know? With that rule of yours, you could be so much more. You could live a life befitting of a world representative. I do not have this power by choice. I never wanted this role. Of course you didn't. All you've ever wanted is revenge against a rule that destroyed those tied to you by blood. Temujin, that's enough. Oh, how everyone in your sphere fought over you. If only you'd learned to live as an arrogant king. But instead, you struggled to live a modest, humble life, and look where that got you. You have no place to call home anymore. Shinya Tsunoji, former comrade, once welcome among the 7 world representatives of the Invaders. In fighting to save others, you are merely struggling to reclaim that which you've lost. Struggling in vain, despite knowing that you'll never have it again. I said that's enough, Temujin. World representative of Xanadu. Is this blood I'm coughing up? Now, Cupid, pierce his heart! No, wait! What the? You shouldn't play around so much on the battlefield, Temujin, my ally. That'll just net you a shameful defeat. Oh, it's Perrin. Perrin. The battlefront with the warmongers of the West is an active one once more. Seems the players are now aware of their parts. Let's finish up here on the double. We'll grind the wheat upon the millstone and get this harvest underway. Shinya! 3 versus 3 is it? That would have been quite the spectacle. Sadly, there's no time to see it through here. For our revolution is about to begin, in which everything will be brought to a swift end. What even is that battle? It's just like they started randomly battling these 3 asterisms, apparently. Apparently they have a team name. No longer need to call them the Valentine Squad. You can call them the whatever asterisms. I actually did practice Perrin's voice before episode 1, but I already forgot how it sounds. Right, where is the next part? There it is. Minato, part 2 of Battle in the Storm. Let's do this. Did Perrin just came to say hi, I'm here and then leave? I think they're stalling or something until the other people actually execute the plan. So as much as you'd like a swift end, whatever that means, they're pretty much just gonna have to wait for whatever is Isaac and Tanguro and whatever is up to. Actually, I guess Tanguro and Wakan is out of the picture now. I don't know who else is supposed to be in the collective consciousness. One of the 3 true guilds, the Shinagawa Invaders, boasts 7 world representatives. Oh, is that who they are? So Wakan, Tangaroa, and where are the past we saw? The ones who were defeated, Fushi and Smoky God. So these are the other 3? They only have 7, really? I guess Volfsoslav is not a representative. So Perrin... Temujin is a world representative? Really? I didn't expect that. Each of these representatives deeply and thoroughly invades other factions, changing the very nature of their targets' sanctities, features, and belief systems alike. And these others don't even realize they're under attack. You simply allow the invaders in, only to suddenly wake up with a different identity altogether. Even at that point, they're none the wiser that they've been victimized and overtaken. It all happens surreptitiously. Often, the invaded party acts as though they've been worshipping or loving the puppeteers from the very start. So, classic case of severe annexation. In the end, the one thing all 7 of these executive members of the Invaders have in common is that their mere existence changes the way of the world. Yes, to get some background on Shinya, thumbnail guy. Among them is Shinya Tennoji, reserved representative of the otherworld of Olympus. Although unquestionably human, he is fated to serve as a reservist for the role belonging to Zeus, the true world representative of Olympus in Tokyo's ever-ongoing game. And as Zeus is foreordained to be the one who establishes bonds of love with all of creation in Olympus. Anyone and everyone with power and influence is made to become Zeus's companion, his descendant, his relative, and the number of these unwitting offspring is always increasing. I see. I vaguely remember Zeus has some sort of mythological tendency to, change forms and sleep with a bunch of people. I guess his lineage is quite large as a result. This power makes Shinya naturally loved and adored by all who behold him, whether he likes it or not. And sadly, this natural phenomenon resulted in a family that raised him falling apart, as is to be expected since there's no way for such a circumstance not to spawn infighting. The Invaders are like the problematic and toxic partner that you can't leave. I don't think they're quite like that. They're... I don't know. They're more like something that you've always believed to be the case, but in reality snuck their way in before you even realized before you were the wiser. Shinya Tennoji, Reserve World Representative and former comrade of the Invaders. One loop, you're with us, and next, your foe standing in your way. You caused me great pain during one particular loop long, long ago. Now it's time to return the favor. Stay your hand. I, Kalki of Divaloka, do not abide by those who would dare bring harm upon Shinya. I was born in Avatar Destruction, yet I fight for the love I've come to know here in Tokyo. And I'm Terramighty, a knight of Mid-Earth. Oh, I guess Mid-Earth is a canonical location within this game. They did sort of refer to it in passing as the third world that's involved between Gehenna as well as Eden. So just regular Earth. And, I was thinking it would be different from Yggdrasil because this is not Mid-Earth. But Mid-Earth is not one of the participants, and yet it's interesting that Terramighty's from there. If you forget I'm here, you'll quickly find yourself regretting it. My heart has been greatly moved by the degree to which Shinya, my classmate at Daikanyama Academy, has fought to protect Tokyo. Therefore, you Invaders, be you of the 3 true guilds or no, shall never be permitted to destroy this lovely city. Such a bother. Volstaslav, your time has come. Herald me to victory. At once, Lord Perrin. My master, my emperor, I am at your service. Servants to the enemy, your time is up. I will take you down. I am servant to none. I am a friend. I fight strictly for the oath I've taken. My name is Volstaslav. Allow me to show you the fearsome power of the one and only Werewolf Tsar. Impossible. How can he be so strong? I'm facing but a single opponent, yet he's managing to press me back. Try to hold me at bay just like that, Kilkey. I'll use the opportunity to... You will not. Wolf, with a mere raise of his arm, commands the air itself to freeze, halting Terramighty's movements entirely. This rule... I've seen something like this before. At the Ikebukuro Coliseum, or Keio Conway. This rule is so similar, or... No, it's exactly the same. You've done it again, Perrin, haven't you? trampled all over someone else's dignity, their sanctity, and smashed it to bits. What? What are you talking about, Shinya? Are they saying that he's not just a shadow but one and the same? Harun's rule allows him to take someone else's memories and grind them down to dust, then mix them together as he sees fit. I suspect this Slav is an unfortunate victim of this rule. He's likely been combined with another transient. Very perceptive of you. A dash of Horikiri ensures I have his utmost loyalty. And makes him both the werewolf Tsar Kitez and, at the same time, Horikiri, yet neither of them. One can't argue with results, however, and the result here is that my mixture keeping 2 of your transmits at bay. Besides, who are you to talk China, Tenoji? You too are but a devil who ensnares everyone in your orbit. Can you honestly tell me that the love and camaraderie they exhibit towards you is the real deal? Are you absolutely certain you haven't inadvertently invaded their mind and driven them mad for you? That is the fear of Shinya from the regular quests that we've seen. Yes! I'm certain! I don't do things like that. Oh, no, not on purpose, no. But just by your mere existence, you draw others in and corrupt their minds. In which case, it's a bit of a pity that you aren't flaunting your powers like I do. It's yours to flaunt after all. But instead, you use your kind words and wield your frail righteousness, convincing yourself that that's what did the deed. Stop. Perrin! Shinya's arrows effortlessly repelled by Perrin's plate mail sacred artifact. See that? Your pathetic naivete has given me the opening I need to snatch away this sacred artifact meant for you. As if in response to the Sleeden, the plate mail sacred artifact intended as a breastplate for Zeus and Olympus begins to shine brightly. Our hunting ground, Roppongi Academy, has already fallen, so I intend to make you my personal vanguard. You should be honored. Yes, with my rule, I'll take all of your egos and grind them to paste, incorporating them into my own history. Static rewrite. Watch out, Shinya! Take cover! Koki, Tarmighty! If you betrayed us and led the enemy here, after we've ruled you for generations, we entrust our history to the true master. Lord Perrin, we beseech thee. One after another, the buildings of Roppongi Academy fall, exposing the students sheltering within them to corruptive rainstorm. Although a fortress and primary portal location for the tycoons, Roppongi Academy in Minato Ward cannot withstand the might of the invaders. Part of the key to the success may stem from the portion of the student body having been formally taken over by the invaders, losing all traces of their original identities. With such a force operating within, even the superbly well-organized Roppongi Guild is easily dismantled. Didn't Leaks, assign Toji some responsibilities to, place a barrier between their minds or something? Hey, it's Ifrit. How's he sound? You bastards think you can do whatever you want! This is my school, you know, and we're asking for it! How do you like them apples? What's even going on here anyway? Never thought Tokyo could get like this. I wonder if Nomaru's okay. Who is this guy? I'm sure I've seen him before. Right. He's from the Tycoon's upper management, ain't he? Oh, he's a Tycoon? I think he's in the sumo club. Takemi. Eh? hell do you think you're doing? You've been taken over too? Come on, say something so I know for sure. Damn it! No, Haru. Rest in peace, Efort. Hey, that was Toji. Monsieur Leaked. The scout you sent to the academy has returned to the safe house. Ah, so good. Please, show him in. Are you certain? We don't know how far the enemy's grip extends. He may turn against you and cause you harm. No, we seem that is of no concern. Trust me. Please, show him in, Melazine. This must be Toji then. We haven't seen him in a hot minute, honestly. I have returned. Roppongi Guildmaster Leaked. Are you safe? Leaked has managed to hold on to one secret safe house, unbeknownst to the enemy. Oh yeah, he was hiding at Sasaga's place a second ago. Toji Sakimori carefully checks his surroundings for any prying eyes and slips inside. I am. It's impressive you were able to make it here safely yourself, Messenger Toji of our allies, the Summoners. The rain out there represents a form of spiritual attack. Even I would have succumbed to it were it not for this barrier ability. Toji makes a series of complex gestures with one of his hands, demonstrating the spiritual barrier in question. Yes, I'm of the mind that this rain was brought about by one of the three true guilds, specifically the Invaders. As you said, it seems that anyone who's exposed to the storm experiences some mental alterations, so to speak. This is why all those who found roofs to shield them from the downpour have been chased out into the by the enemy soldiers. We've even lost all communications with what little fighting force we've had left in Roppongi Academy. As a guild, I fear our time is through. There's no coming back from the damage that's been done. Oh no! Rip the Tycoons, but at least take this fine. The pride of the Tycoons is its organizational capability, but if we have an unknown traitor within our ranks, one who we must assume is still active no less, then we cannot very well use my sacred artifact to inherit and use that role. Use a role? Rest in peace. And the other executives aren't likely to have any more luck than me. This isn't a problem with an easy solution. Loose Future and Hakumen and Sasagawa and Guillermo and Takumi Nakata is an executive too, I suppose. Indeed not. That's why it's such a relief to have you working with us on this. Remind me to thank your guildmaster once more. Only knowing that we're all still of right mind gives us considerably more freedom to discuss and execute plans. On that note, I have news to report pertaining to your point of contact. I regret to say, he has betrayed us. I saw with my own eyes, he has aided in the takeover of Roppongi Academy. Takumi Nakata then? What? Takumi Nakata has succumbed to the enemy vials? That's preposterous! It is the truth. I have witnessed him beating up upon Ifrit, one of our resistance fighters, though I know not what influenced his hand. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he was influenced, but he was working with his own motivation. I don't quite buy it. Not in this case. No, not with Takumi Nakata. Can you elaborate on your reasoning behind that assertion, Guildmaster? Well, for one, this attack that causes people to betray their own, and that of the rain, comes from different transients. Oh yeah, that's true. Well, obviously. The rain that's influencing everyone to go into one with units from Lock-On, but this sort of corruption thing to make people attack each other, that's presumably maybe from Tangoro, I'm not entirely sure. It could be from one of the other invaders. At least, that seems to be the case. The rain stupefies those it touches, but it alone does not brainwash them. Oh yeah, it's apparent then. Yeah, that makes more sense. So, essentially... Well, let's read this. It's come to light, in fact, that a certain transient of the invaders named Perun is responsible for that part. So he's somehow infusing his ability with walk-on, or at least coordinating it. At least when they're docile made by walk-on, then he's going... He jumps in to influence people. Well, not necessarily everyone, so it could have just been his own plans and working of brainwashing people. He took quite a bit of legwork and rather hefty feat to come upon this intel, but based on my analysis, he wields a sacred artifact, a millstone, that allows him to alter another's history by mixing part of himself into them. This causes the afflicted foe to believe that they always have been subservient to him from the very start. Wait, we've been subservient to Perun? Always have been. It is a fearsome rule indeed, but Takumi Nakata should not be affected by it. Takumi Nakata, you see, is something of an unlisted individual, though I'll save the details of that for another time. But it's that quality that has made me regard him as a secret weapon in the fight against the invaders. If that is the case, however, then would it not make Takumina's betrayal an act of his own volition? Oh, would that this world even truly allowed for acts of personal volition? Philosophizing aside, however, I have my own theory as why he may have acted as such. Though it is rare in our guild, Takumi Nakata is not the kind of person to directly betray those whom he has committed to aid. Is he saying it's rare for loyalty to be in the guild? I guess that's sort of true. The Tycoons is all about, trying to get the upper hand and all that. Therefore, I believe that before he established ties with us, prior even to arriving in Tokyo, he was given orders by another. He must have pledged his aid to another before us, and is now honoring that commitment. Even here, we have our hierarchy, no? Toji, might ask another favor of you. I'd like you to investigate someone else, if you would. Rikoku again. A former world representative of the otherworld Takamagahara, once known as Lord Onamuchi, now known as Okuninushi. That is the person Takumi Nakata served back in his homeland before coming to Tokyo. Remember when Leet almost made his guild betray each other but changed his mind because MC liked one of his paintings? I remember that. It's one of the things I can remember, between chapter 4 and chapter 7, or chapter 9 rather. It's a bit of a blurb at BFM. As I see it, the likelihood that he is involved with these current incursions by the invaders is rather high. I do not understand. Can you provide me with more information? What are the Tycoon's enemies actually after here? The Tycoon's enemies? An interesting turn of phrase, that. I wonder if they consider us the enemies as well. Perhaps to them, this reign is merely means to an end. Just business as usual. So Daikoku seems to be a headed protagonist, or antagonist again? Except working with the invaders? Weird. Toji, do you recall what master rule of this game is? It's that a majority vote determines the course of things. The majority always places above the minority in the hierarchy. Yes, a very important rule. Back when we both were still at odds with us, the Ikebukuro and Hongo guilds conducted a joint experiment. A successful one. Ikebukuro and Hongo. Oh, the wise man, right. They experimented with, Actually, I don't know this experiment. I know that, what's called... They did their own experiments with the exceptions and being able to contain them with hierarchy. But I don't believe the wise men were involved with that specifically. I do think the wise men were involved with something in the Underground Coliseum, though. It should that, viewing in a close space, the majority of players are prerequisite to the establishment of new rules. Toji? Since the start of the offensive, I've been told of the beliefs that everything seemed to be happening out of order. Out of order? I believe the East would make their moves before the South. The missionaries would be attacked before the tycoons. Military strategy clearly indicates that's how things should have unfolded, but the invaders did things differently. I hate to pile one theory upon another, but I suspect the invaders' ultimate goal here is to overturn the hierarchy. They seek to enact a revolution of sorts. They seek to create a majority rule out of thin air. Are they seeking to create the minority, or like reversing mass rule itself? And they're laying the groundwork for it by trying to force every living thing in Tokyo to take part. Oh, I see they're forcing. It's still mass rule, but just forcing everyone to believe. Oh, okay. Now I see the whole point of getting Wakon involved with that mass reign. If they get everyone to believe in that way, then everyone will be one of mine. And if they could just add one more belief in there, then that one belief could change everything massively. As per the mass rule. The question is, what is their end goal? What would it be something related to Isaac's objective of assimilation then? I'm not entirely sure. And again, that in itself is already assimilation. Thank you, Leek, for just being so galaxy brain that he explains everything without even having to, like, witness most events happening. He just kind of picks up all pieces through theories and still makes a coherent sort of a, I guess, a narrative of how things are unfolding. Leek's taken an interesting role in this story, main story then, as it's kind of like a pseudo storyteller. Not someone who is talking about what is, or, you know, some impending secret of what is, what we'll eventually find out, such as, you know, with the wise men hinting at the mass, you know, exceptions and mass rule and all that. But more so, it seems to be related to, you know, him acting as a speculative narrator, without actually getting hard evidence backed up, and not necessarily anything that will necessarily unfold. Anyway, let's continue with the last part for this stream, Battle in the Storm, Part 3. His brain is just expanding. We're in Part 3. This is a rather fast episode, isn't it? I guess that's what happens when there's no battle. The Tower of Babel is the base portal of the Oshiage Guild in Sumida Ward. The guild goes by the name Game Masters. Their primary function is to ensure the smooth operation of the game, with Tokyo serving as the battleground where beings from 23 other worlds compete to obtain the trophy. Generally, they work in tandem with the entertainers. His primary function is to make the game as lively and interesting as it can be. Recruiting members from other guilds is not uncommon, such as is the case with Alice, who's been placed in charge of the Shinjuku and Shibuya areas. And those who've been assigned to eliminate obstacles that stand in the way of the game's operation are afforded one very specific privilege. Namely, they are given free rein to conceal their identities from others, and likewise, to falsify any records of their existing guild affiliations. Through this unique privilege, these individuals are able to covertly infiltrate other guilds, who remain unaware of their existing ties to the game's showrunners. But of course, Alice and her partner cannot possibly cover all of Tokyo. Other areas are overseen by other game masters, each one monitoring the state of the game very carefully from their own tactically chosen vantage point. I wonder if Alice has her own other, like, what's it called, substitute guild? Or, you know, secondary, rather. Lian and Chi is paired with one such game master. The two of them placed in charge of the area from Akihabara to Asakusa in Taito Ward. Lian and Chi is a member of the Entertainers, while also conducting secret reconnaissance on the Akihabara craters. Even though game masters have been unable to get a proper picture of the inner workings of the Akihabara Guild. Her guild master, Turing, is known to be a computer genius and a foremost authority on the development of artificial intelligence. As a result, the guild itself is virtually invulnerable to all information warfare tactics, to the point that even those in charge of the game aren't certain what to do with them. Okay, so they're not just complete chumps like the crafters were. This is a problem for the game masters, who need to get a clear look at the creators to ensure that they don't represent a threat to the game's continued administration. It's through this necessity that the game masters sought assistance from the Entertainers and implanted Lian and Shi into the creators as a mole. Sorry, I forgot about your stream error. No, it's fine, it's fine. This is already the last part. It's a very short episode, apparently. We're learning about specific assignments between the guild masters, the game masters, and the Entertainers right now. And apparently, it's kind of a black box. The creators, even to the game masters, which is why the game masters, with cooperation with the Entertainers, had Lian and Shi infiltrate them. And through this, it's now come to light that the game masters' headquarters had failed to know something very important: the secret connection between the creators' guild master Turing and the invaders. Lian and Shi is the one sent to investigate this very matter, alongside her partner Sana Kumara of the Game Masters. Sana Kumara possesses a special role that allows him to form a direct connection with the minds of others, sharing even their memories. Combine this with a steady personality, high intelligence, and the full trust of his own partner, and Sana Kumara is truly someone the Game Masters can rely on. He even seems to take a vested interest in his duties towards the game's continued operation, as he too wishes for nothing more. This made him the perfect choice for reconnaissance on the invaders, who are themselves up foes specializing in mental warfare. Yet at a certain point, for reasons clear, Sana Kumara began to behave in a manner quite contrary to what's expected of him as a game master. As we saw before, it seems that he's facing some sort of Daikoku shadow of him. Hello? Yes, we request immediate assistance. There's been an uprising at cosplay event in Akihabara. What? Are you? What? Are we? Oh? An uprising, you say? What do you mean exactly? Rather than investigating the inner workings of the invaders on the Guildmaster's behalf, he began acting on his own, seemingly to cover their tracks. Can he make them forget or something? And no matter how much he's pressed, he refuses to say anything at all about it to Lian and Chi. Now, inevitably, he's begun directly intervening in the operations. He's taken over the body of Akiya Gangman, a member of the Akihabara Guild Lian and Chi has been observing, and spared himself away in it. At the time of this action, he had by his side the chief of Kyo Police Academy, Superintendent Daikoku. And to make matters more complicated still, Daikoku was not being called Daikoku during this incident, but was instead referred to as Lord Onamushi, also known as Okinonushi. That is my understanding of your report, Lian and Chi of the Entertainers. Have I missed anything?
knows everything. Alice of the Game Masters.
Oh, look, our tea is served. Alice, Leon and she, may I fill your cups?
Thank you, John Bond. Ah, it's so warm.
This meeting of the minds is taking place in a shared space in Akihabara that's often used as a meeting spot for the creators. Alice had personally summoned Leon Shi here in order to conduct an interview with her on recent events. I'm pleased to hear that you've not turned against us, though less pleased to hear of Sana Kumara's fate. Alice continues her line of questioning in between sips of tea. It truly is as if your partner has changed into a different person entirely.
That was my exact thought as well. Sana Kumara would never take direct action against another, well, except in case of self-defense. He's never allowed himself to be tempted by fame or fortune, which has made pairing with him a pleasure till now. For him to suddenly kidnap a bystander like that, it truly is as though we're dealing with someone else in disguise.
If that is the case, then it seems only logical to assume the invaders succeeded with their signature mind-altering attacks. And they're using Sana Kumara as a pawn to expand their powers even further. Yet, it is difficult to imagine Sana Kumara falling prey to such attacks quite so easily. Alice is well aware of Sana Kumara's true power, being a member of the same guild as her, or being a part of the same guild as he. Moreover, based on what Alice knows of his role, it seems extremely unlikely that his self-awareness could be impeded, in whole or even in part. At worst, it should have ended in a draw, yet it didn't. Why not? Either way, we're not going to accomplish much simply by sitting here and ruminating. We need to catch the enemy in our net. What are you referring to, Alice? Daikoku? Or... Of whom have I been speaking all this time, Jambavan? I am, of course, referring to Sana Kumara. If that Daikoku fella is working with the invaders, then he's playing by the small R rules of the games. Small R rules of the game. So not the capital R rule. This means all dealings with him shall remain within the game's framework. It would be unwise for us to overreach. But Sana Kumara is a different story. He is a fully fledged game master, and for he must be dealt with accordingly. Oh, I see. So whatever Daikoku's doing, I mean, they never really intervened with them in the first place with the whole Makala thing. So the game masters personally thought it was fine, but Sana's a different story, just simply because he has special privileges as a game master. If he has already overstepped his bounds and taken sides in this conflict, we are obliged to at least ascertain his intentions. And that includes you as well, Lianichi. I trust that you, as an administrator, have no objections. Am I right? Although faint, Lianichi nods a slight affirmation in response to Alice's question. Then we should be going, though we know not where. Our first order of business, however, should be to debrief all eyewitnesses of Sana Kumara's misconduct. If I'm not mistaken, he attends a school in nearby Asakusa called Umamichi Academy. Now, what can you tell me about the school and its environs? Umamichi
Academy is the site of Asakusa Glorious Portal. The school has a number of very old-fashioned traditions. Inside Kumara is known there as Big Boss. He'd always regarded the school with considerable fondness. However, his descriptions of it suggest there are many there who are rather rough around the edges. This seemingly led to a number of local scuffles, but Sana Kumara was always there to keep the peace. But this time, his absence seems to have cleared the way for the recent trouble that's broken out in Chibamata, Katsushika Ward.
Trouble? Taishakuten.
He mentioned that among the trends in Chibamata, there is one with a real knack for fighting. I believe his name was Taishakuten. Apparently, he got in Asakusa involved in fighting, and Sakumara happened to be in town at the time. The two of them came to blows, and, well, Sakumara described the situation quite fondly.
I see. Well, given all of that, how close it is to here, I believe our investigation began with Asakusa. Are you thinking he might show up there because he has an emotional attachment to the place?
A
If you were to assume that there is still some semblance of his former character left within him, then yes, I believe so. And even if that's not the case, there still may be some form of trail left for us to follow. Therefore, I do feel...
What the?
Jambavon suddenly shrieks in response to a loud thunderclap, and all three now take note of the dark clouds visible outside the window. The storm hasn't made its way here to Taito Ward yet, but it has reached parts of Minato and Kyoto wards just south of us. Alice stares at the emergency lord in front as she declares this. I don't imagine the west or east guilds will be waiting things out, so we should also take care not to dawdle. Shall we go?
Alice? The other guild I belong to is one in Ueno, here in Taito Ward, if you'll recall. And since my work for the Game Masters is just part of time gig, I was hoping he might let me ouch!
Part-time. If you don't wish your tale to be yanked any further, I'd suggest you shut your trap and follow us.
Okay. I just hope Fenrir and Kushi are alright.
Sanat! Or Jambavon. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. It's a bit hard to fully sympathize with Jambavon when he's been in cahoots with the Game Masters this entire time, fully in the know of all the loops and everything. Meanwhile, at a safe house in an undisclosed location, Daikoku, chief police of Shinjuku, has holed himself up and expects no one will be able to track him down, given that he's created a redundant stack of fake IDs to hide behind. How's he sound again?
My Sonic Kamara, where might you be going in this stormy weather? I would much prefer if you stay here and continue to serve as my bodyguard. Though I do not understand that waiting things out in an emergency safe house is not the most stimulating choice. Master Shogun and his little lackeys are far more capable than I expected, sniffing out most of my assets and hideaways. Worse still, the warmongers military officers have somehow uncovered all the secrets of my past. How about entrusting everything to that Kurotengu transient you brought along the other day? You should be able to get your hands on that transient in Roppongi too. Takuma Inakato, was it? There's no need for me to stay here and keep watch over you. I have other things to take care of. I'm worried about my juniors in Asakusa, so I'd like to leave here and go check on them. Oh, do you think their situation has changed in some way? I'd be most interested in that information as well. The Asakusa Guild, the Gurus, recently announced an alliance with the Aoyama Guild, the Missionaries. Well, information spreads fast. As if anticipating Daikoku wouldn't quite take him at his word on that, Sonic Kumar opens the app, scrolls to the appropriate announcements, and holds his phone out for him to see. Everyone builds him. Someday we'll be able to see actually give Daikoku his comeuppance. Yeah. The surviving members of the Aoyama Guild are being sheltered at the portal site in their own backyards, the Taito Ward. But as best as I can tell, the Asakusa should still be in the midst of an ongoing turf war with some neighborhood transients. I see. You know, Sanat Kumaro, your face at the moment bears a striking resemblance to that of an old friend of mine. It almost makes me forget that we're working together with the invaders to take advantage of this disaster and stir up chaos in Tokyo. As far as I'm concerned, though, the one thing that hasn't changed is my desire to give guidance to my beloved juniors. Here's hoping they still feel the same about you. But I really should be more mindful of what I say, shouldn't I? I understand. Even through the passage of time and the shifting of alliances, some duties are sacrosanct. One could even say it's those very circumstances that have led to us turning coat and lending our aid to the south. You from your administrative position in Game Masters, and I from my station in Warmongers of the West. The only alliance I will never forge is with the rulemakers of the East, since that's where my arch enemy can be found. But that's also why I can't turn back now. I am all in and will lend every bit of power I have at my disposal to invaders. And that makes us comrades now. Go, my comrade. I await your safe return.
That was weirdly kind-eyed with him.
Now for you. You seem to have calmed down a bit, Akia Gongen. Do you remember who I am?
You're my master, Lord Onomichi. Or I could call you Okinanushi, since you've adopted that name as well over time. You're the world representative who governed my homeland long ago, and who stands at the top of the vast hierarchy of devoted comrades. But why, though, do you go by the alias of Daikoku now, Lord Onomichi?
Why? Well, you just said it yourself. I am a world representative of long ago. I do not hold that title anymore. And Okinanushi is a stale, empty name that conveys no rank, no place in the hierarchy. Therefore, I've commandeered the name and shadow of another transient, and rule as well, to see how it suits me. Too bad the veneer of this identity has been halfway peeled off and is now hanging by the faintest of threads. The question is, do you recall why I brought you here, Akia Gongen, my faithful divided soul? We're collapsing the order here in Tokyo. Riding upon the great storm, we shall turn the system of this hierarchy on its head. Huh? Think about it. Were you to remain in Akihabara, you would likely have become a sacrifice by now. You should be thankful.
Oh, Lord Onomichi, I'm sorry, but I need to go back. I have to protect the others.
That is not permitted. You're to serve alongside Takumi Nakata as my duty soldier.
What? Takumi Nakata's in Tokyo? Is that who he's serving then?
He is. And you haven't forgotten what you just said, I presume, have you? That I was once your master. Then you should have no problems pledging your allegiance to me once more, should you, Akia Gongen?
Of course not, my lord.
Miserable, isn't it? Pitiful even. To roar with laughter at one's own sob story. To raise one's head a hierarchy long since past and make false claims to former loyalists. To elicit guilt and pity from them, and love simply relying upon a more robust system of hierarchy. I've discarded every last vestige of pride I had, and yet I will not rest until I've given all this disgrace back to you, Amaterasu. That's why I seek to turn this hierarchy on its head, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. This plan from the invaders stands to become the stage for my own turnaround. It's the final wish left within me. The last bit of who I am. My final identity. There is nothing left for me to do anymore but this. No. No! Shinji Tanoji, Reserve World Representative Olympus. Running off, are you, using your followers as shields? Oh, that won't do. For you see, I, Perun, have taken those very followers. Oh, how alone and helpless they must feel. That was unsightly of me, Perun. But the next battle with Shinji will be by my hands, not yours. I must win the fight myself. I must be the victor. Imogen thinks back to the fight he had with his sworn friend, Jamuka, and the day he won the battle and became the ruler of the Great Plains. So ingrained in legend has his name become back in his home world of Xanadu, that only one other name that commands the same respect. And now he stands in Tokyo as a world representative of Xanadu, having crushed his most trusted companion to reach this lofty height. No one else must be allowed to halt his progress now, for he is a true invader in every sense. If he has stopped now, then what meaning was there in throwing away his old friendship? What purpose did it even serve? I chose long ago to rid myself of everything, even my sworn friend. So now, I must walk this path of conquest alone. I see! You're right! You just seek to expand your reach. Here we go then. Release the fire! The time to take it all has come.
Kelki! Terramite!
Shino runs off alone, cradling his wounds as he distances himself from town set ablaze by the invaders' attack. Rest in peace. Hey! Strutting test. How's he sound again? God damn it.
Damn it. The smell is nostalgic, but it's putrid. It's just like when disaster filled Xanadu.
Within the other world of Xanadu, one of the 23 connected to Tokyo, there was once a time when every disaster imaginable struck the land, ravaging it entirely. During that era, a certain divine child cast a beam of light down upon the land and transferred there as a baby. That baby became a hero, fighting even from infancy against all disasters of the world and driving them back. Once upon a time, that hero even defeated the great demon of calamity, Atai Ulam. The hero's name is still spoken of throughout Xanadu even today. And once there was no more fighting to be done, the hero retired, citing a desire to sleep and live a humble life.
Ah! Ulaanbaatar! There you are. Shouldn't you be training?
How about you slack off with me instead, Akia? That sounds a lot nicer, doesn't it?
I could never. Not even if the teacher asked me to.
The man laughs, though it's a dry laugh, with no attempt to hide his complete listlessness and lack of motivation.
Well, that's all you're gonna get. My motto here in Tokyo is, keep your enthusiasm and eagerness on E for empty. You might not believe this, but back to my homeland, I was a real workaholic. But ever since I got to Tokyo, all I wanted to do is chill. Just take it real easy, you know. I figure since I was overworked back home, it's only fair I try to live the slow life now I've been transferred here. Ooh, such a nice sea cold stare. Akia, you really are strict with people you haven't got that certain fever about them, huh?
I don't know. Maybe. All I know is we gotta train, because the time may come when we'll have to defend this town ourselves.
Fine. Just give me one more minute. Ow! Don't pull. It hurts. Ow!
The emergency mobilization siren blares here at the Akihabara fire station.
Akia, babe. Where the heck have you gotten off to? Guess I'm not too worried, though. Not like he's the one to leave this town to burn while he goes parading off somewhere. But ain't nobody else around, so I guess I'm gonna have to think back to skills I learned long ago and see what I could do.
Shipping fuel. Hey, it's Guy Fieri. That's bizarrely a flat way to end an episode. Okay, well, that is it for this stream, or at least this episode. Let's just briefly look and confirm. Okay, so the next episode is Transformation, episode 4, part 1. It seems to be a level 67 quest in a tall map, and featuring a bunch of the camouflagers. So I'll go ahead and prepare a team for that on my own time. But for now, let's just head over to the guild screen. Okay, that is it for this chapter episode. That was a very quick episode, like only a bit over an hour. Wow, that was like barely nothing. I guess some chapters will be like that. Still better going under than over what's expected. But yeah, what we covered thus far is not quite what I had expected for, you know, the thumbnail or the stream title. I'm gonna have to change the stream title because it does not really clarify that at all. We didn't even ourselves, MC, the protagonist, didn't even end up talking with Turning that much. There's just like a very brief blip in the beginning. And what was mostly covered in this, it was more interestingly, I guess, more about the Invaders structure, as well as the, you know, what's more hints about the backstories that we kind of left on the wayside with Daikoku and game masters and entertainers. So it's at least interesting to see they're properly following up with its own dedicated episode rather than just forgetting about it with the continual strings of, you know, references that this will get back, be referred to later. Rest in peace, Tarnamighty and Kalki, though. And I do feel bad for Shinya. He's doing his best to defy the invaders with all his heart and to, you know, show that he can make companions on his own. But, you know, that doubt must still really live within his heart, even among his closest friends still, whether it's actually him and his own charm versus it's his powers. And it's not something he wanted, so you can feel the suffering that he had. You're still sad that you missed most of the stream. I'll try to be on time for the next one. Well, you know, sorry you missed the beginning. Of course, you can watch the video on demand after, but it's fine. It was a very short one, so you only missed most because there wasn't much to begin with for this episode, so you'll catch up soon enough. But yeah, at the same time, tomorrow, I'll be continuing this episode with, what's it called, 7 p.m. ET, and look forward to that, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. So I'll just go head out now. Take care, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and hope you guys continue having fun with the campaign or playing Tears of the Kingdom or any other game that you're playing right now. So, see you guys. Have fun. Bye-bye. Peace.